Are you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Well, welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to us on Broadway World or being here right on Broadway Podcast Network. And I'm really excited about the African Film Festival, and I'm really excited about our next guest because our next guest that you're looking at right over here has done a lot. I think it's like 50-something credits on IMDb on screen and now behind the camera about a really special project. And one of my best friends in the world, Esther, is from Uganda and has been telling me I need to go. So I'm ready for you to convince me to go. I'm ready to go. Come on, I'll take my camera and try to make a documentary just like you. Please welcome to the Roundtable. I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you, Robert. My name is Ntare Guma Mbaho Mwine, and you will have a window into Uganda through my film. So I don't know if you're in New York, but if you are, please come through on Saturday, May 10th at 6:30 p.m. at the Film at Lincoln Center to see Memories of Love Returned.
And I'm really excited. The trailer's available now that I got to check out and see, and I'm really excited for people to see it. And the opening day of the film for you'll be there for a Q&A after the film and everything. So it's going to be a big special premiere for sure.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled. This film has been 22 years in the making. I got my start here in New York when I was in grad school decades ago as well. So it really feels like a full circle moment to come back and premiere the film here.
Well, I was reading about you and your life. You're born here in the United States and
Yes.
went to school in New York City, but you have your roots go back. So how did you discover and first go back to Africa, and what was it like to then be a part of that heritage and be married between American culture and African culture and all of that?
Both of my parents came to the United States for school. My dad was the first Ugandan to graduate from Harvard Law School, and my mom the same from Boston College. And they met, fell in love, and had me, and went back and forth to Uganda since before I can even remember. So I feel like a child of both worlds, having spent a lot of time in Uganda. All of my extended family is there, and my earliest memories are there. And it's been my muse in so many ways.
Well, I love that story, and I love reading about this. And what I love mostly about it is that this documentary is a true story. That back in 2002, I don't know, your car broke down and it became kind of like a special kind of moment. Is it just like a divine fate? What exactly happened?
Yeah, you never know. These happy accidents sometimes happen in life that change the direction of your path. And my car broke down in this sleepy little town where, the cartoons where they have like like those old westerns where there's storefronts just on the side of the road and then nothing for miles. So that's what it was like. My car broke down and I was waiting to get it repaired and stumbled across Chibate Aloysius Salongo's photo studio. And our paths were forever changed at that moment.
Amazing. So at what point after you go in there, and he is a photographer from the 50s till his death in 2006 that's very lauded, and his work is now showcased in your film. Your film has already won awards. It's already been picked as best documentary in different film festivals, chosen to be the centerpiece film for this festival in particular. But when did you realize with your personal relationship with him that there was a movie here that should be made? There has to be a moment that said, this is a movie.
Yeah. I'm one person who always is documenting things. Like any moment I'll have my camera in tow and we'll be like just taking a picture. So I'll like even just documenting this. And so fortunately I documented those meetings with him earlier on. And after reviewing them, I was like, this is really special. Like the work that he's done. And after he passed away, I realized I'd had this archive of his work that I didn't want to disappear since he had passed away. And I'd promised him that I'd share his work. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep that promise before he had passed away. So I was sort of haunted by him and realized I had to carry on my promise. And this film became that way to do that.
Wow. So you've have been on this for over 20 years. And so what is it like now when an audience sees the film and you get to talk to them afterwards and hear their reaction it's a piece of your heart. It's been a big chunk of your life.
Yeah, it has. And it's really incredible just to be able to see how this story of this rural Ugandan photographer resonates with audiences So far, the film has screened on 3 continents, and how it's touched people in Europe, in Africa, in the States. And, photographs are universal. Our relationship with photographs is a universal experience. We've all lost photographs. We all long for photographs. We all treasure them. And so to see these stories and these relationships and these memories returned through these photographs has really been quite incredible to see.
So when we watch this, this is obviously not just for people connected to Uganda or African culture. This is a story about humanity. It's an intimate portrait of somebody that you knew. I'm sure you get to have conversations that are very personable and learn about his life, and we all are going to learn something about it. What is the goal of the film? When we leave, what do you hope we take away?
I hope we treasure the memories of love that we have and realize how fleeting they are. A lot of us now walk around with our phones and everything is loaded on our phones. And if you've ever lost a phone or had it drop in the toilet and, that stuff isn't backed up, it can really, really haunt you. And so part of this film is really about understanding the importance and significance of treasuring these moments. And you get to see that unfold in this film about people who thought these images had been lost, and to have them returned like 50 years later, they're seeing their grandparents or they're seeing their parents for the first time. It really took my breath away. And I think the audiences have been surprised to see how significant a role photos play in shaping identity, not just of the past, but also providing a legacy for the future generations to see.
It's so, what a beautiful, powerful. You must be speaking to my mother, because my mother's house is wallpapered in pictures of her kids and her loved ones. And we always joke about how much the power of photos is, because the second we go over there, what do? You instantly sit, you start to go through them, and you start to reminisce, and it brings you all of that nostalgia. And it's so important that we have those artifacts. And I can't wait for people to see this. We want to, while we're talking, everyone could go to africanfilmny.org. This particular screening is May 10th with the Q&A for Memories of Love Returned. The festival is going to run all different dates, but it's going to be May 7th to the 13th. So if you want to get all the information, all the films, it's days of films that you need to see it. You need to go check it out. AfricanFilmNY.org is where you can get the information about this. What's it like when you heard that you were going to be the centerpiece for this particular film festival? You had to, some people don't understand the work that is required to get into film festivals, the paperwork, the money, the time, the competition. So what's it like?
What an honor it is to be celebrated this way, to be given this platform. And I'm so grateful to Mahen and to everyone at the New York African Film Festival and Film at Lincoln Center to be given this opportunity to showcase this incredible story. And usually you'll see, high profile pieces that get a centerpiece, but this is really about, it goes back to the roots. This is about a rural Ugandan photographer, and for him to get this showcase, this centerpiece, speaks to the volume, speaks to the importance that this festival puts towards rural artists. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for people to check it out. I know everybody needs to check it out. You've been very busy, so I have questions for you, because you work. You're a working actor. You're booked. You have we have a couple of, let's see what we could pull out of our archives. This is a little. We got a little heroes moment. We've got a little Lincoln lawyer moment. If that's your show,
Yeah.
we have a little. Of course, you did a lot of episodes of The Shy, and then the rumor on the street here is, we got shows like Smoke, and we got shows like the new Dexter coming out. So you got multiple series coming out pretty much close to the same time. You've been out here working.
I'm grateful to be busy. It helps fund the documentary, which needs support. So
Yes.
I'm beyond grateful that one hand feeds the other. Yeah.
So while you're working, while you're self-taping and auditioning and going to set and filming new television series, you're also, for 20 years, while you're having this TV and film career grow, you've been working on this documentary. So how do you marry going to Uganda, going to shoot, going to pay your bills as an actor and building your career, and marrying those two sides of you as a creative?
Well, this has been an independent project. And so it's taken partly 22 years because I couldn't afford to do some of the steps earlier on. I had thousands of chibates, negatives, over 10,000 images that I couldn't afford to digitize. So when I first got my role on The Shy, my first paycheck went towards digitizing his thousands of negatives. Um, and subsequent work enabled me to go back to Uganda and photograph people in the community there. The recent job I had on Smoke, I was filming last year, helped me cover the post-production costs. Uh, Dexter Resurrection, hopefully will, they have such a huge following. I'm hoping that will bring more eyes to the show, to the documentary. So yeah, one hand has been sort of feeding the other, and yeah.
So is this a documentary that are you a part of it on screen? Or are you solely behind the camera?
I am on screen as well. I'm sort of the window into the story for the audience. So I bring the audience into the piece. It's uh, partly my story as well, because there's some stuff that is revealed about my own history and struggles that is shared in the film that parallels some of the story that Chibate has.
What was it like for you? I mean, you grew up and you grew up like somewhere in like New England. Like, is it New Hampshire, Vermont, somewhere?
Yes, where there are not that many Ugandans.
That's so, and you know what's funny? My friend Esther lives in Boston. Oh, shout out to the New England Ugandans out there, and I love her. And when you hear her story, and you hear her love for her family, and she's here, and her family is there, and and she talks about coming here and the work that she does and how she feels and the misconception of what life is like in Africa by many Americans as well.
Mhm.
She feels very passionately about it. You being born here in America and then going there now having a relationship there, what do you think are some of the misconceptions we have? What have you learned about life in Uganda?
Um, well, I feel like a child of both worlds, really. And I think this film demystifies what life is like in Uganda, what life is like in a rural community in Uganda, because often our windows into Africa through the capital cities, through turmoil or political uh, lens, or the aristocratic lens. What's really fascinating about my film and Chibate's work is that he focuses on the common man, the common woman in the rural communities, the laborers, the day laborers, looking at wedding pictures. And he was an itinerant rural photographer. So you get a window into 5 decades of life in a small town in Uganda. And what has been fascinating for audiences, I think, is to see the parallels that you see around the world, like the simple gestures of affection, of love, that are sort of universal when you see two people in love and posing for a picture together. So that's been sort of the things that's been great to see.
And what I love about it, without seeing it, but seeing the preview and having a conversation and reading about it, is that human relationships and family and loved ones is universal no matter where you're born, no matter what culture you come from. It's something that so anyone out here, if you have looking for something fun to do on May 10th, it's perfect. It's going to be like Mother's Day weekend. It's going to be New York City in the springtime. It's a perfect day to check out a film and explore something new and a culture maybe you're not familiar with, and learn something brand new all about it. And that's why you're going to go to africanfilmny.org and then check out the whole festival, because there's a lot of films and a lot of great filmmakers and a lot of stories that are being told in this film festival, for sure.
Well, thank you for shining light on all these incredible stories and for taking time to chat with me about my film. I hope you get to see it if you're in the New York area. And Esther, you can let her know that the film will be screening at the Berkshire International Film Festival at the end of May. So if Berkshires are closer to her and New York, she should come up and see it there.
I have to send. Can we follow you? Can we follow you on?
I'm on Instagram at Beware of Time.
Beware of Time. That is
Yes.
him right there. So Beware of Time, and you can follow, and all that information about the film, I'm sure will be up. For us regular people, if we're not in New York, we're across the country right now. How can we support the film? Share, tell somebody, follow you, make sure you stay up to date. I'm sure there's more ideas and screenings and hopefully distribution in the future.
Yeah, they will be. There's definitely more screenings in the works. It'll be going to Washington, D.C. as well. I'll be keeping those updates on my IG, so please check in there. And yeah, distribution talks are in the works, so hopefully I'll have more news for that too for those around the globe.
We're really excited, and we're excited to see Dexter, and we're excited to see all the things that are coming down the line. I'm scared. I'm a little scared. Is Dexter going to scare me?
I am thrilled for audiences to get to see Dexter Resurrection, if you can hear me clearly. This is Dexter with Michael C. Hall coming back. And, people thought he was gone, but you'll see he's back in the flesh and going on new adventures. My character gets to interact with him quite a bit. I can't say more than that. And then Smoke is a new Apple TV series, which I'm also starring on with Taron Egerton, Journey Smollett, and incredible Dennis Lehane. So both of these will be coming out in the coming weeks or months. So stay tuned. You caught it here at Robert Bannon. You got the exclusive. I can't hear you clearly anymore, so I'm hoping your audience can hear you. So I'm not sure what's going on with the audio. But thank you, sir.